presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
Bouncing ball, fair ball, and a walk-off win for the Tigers tonight.
What a great comeback tonight.
Ian Kinsler, an RBI single. The Tigers get 2 in the 9th and 1 in the 10th. Ain't no party like a walk-off party, and today the Tigers will try and build on last night's win. It's the final game of the series featuring the Tigers and the visiting Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen. Glad you're with us here this afternoon for the Tigers and Jays. And what a homestand that it's been, Ron, for the Tigers. Hopefully they'll keep that momentum going today.
Well, they've been winning a lot of games, and I know we're going to talk about the starting pitching here in just a second, but the offense is really clicking on all cylinders right now, and it's really a different guy every single night, getting it done, getting the big hit. That's why this team has been so good on this homestand.
Well, let's focus in on the starting pitching. Really, if you look back to the final or last 7 games, dating back to that final game in Anaheim when the Tigers beat the Angels behind Michael Fulmer, this starting staff has done some terrific teams. You look at some of the numbers, an ERA of 2.25, and really overall, they've been great.
You know, it's a wonderful staff, and when you do get hot like they're hot right now, this is when you're able to run off a bunch of games, a bunch of wins, and the bullpen gets plenty of rest.
All right, now Jordan Zimmerman goes in this ball game. Made his last start coming back from the groin injury, and he looked pretty good.
He's awesome. What he does is he just throws lots of strikes, and he does it in a variety of different ways. He's got the four-seam fastball, about 94, but most of his pitches these days are cutters and sinkers and good breaking balls and occasional changeup. I just love his intestinal fortitude on the mound. This guy throws lots of strikes. He barely walks anybody, and he also fields his position very well, which is imperative. I mean, if you're going to be a good pitcher in the big leagues, and you're going to win a lot of games, and you're going to have the kind of success that Zimmerman has enjoyed since he's been in the big leagues, you've got to do everything right, and this guy does just about everything right on the mound.
All right, Tigers going for their 2nd straight sweep. Today, after a short break, we send you back to the Coliseum studio to check in with Kristen Keith. Tigers have some momentum going right now. They've won 5 in a row. Let's keep it going. Tigers, Jays, next. Here in the Motor City, Tigers and Blue Jays go at it. Final game in this series. Here is the starting lineup for the Blue Jays today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. For Toronto, it'll be Bautista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion in the top 3 spots. Donaldson really been struggling on the road lately. Smoke, Pilar, and Carrera in the middle 3 spots, and then Barney, Ryan Goins, and Josh Tolley rounded out. Some changes today for the Blue Jays. Zimmerman is presented today by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Overall, Zim has some outstanding numbers, but his numbers during the daylight even a little bit better. He is 4-0 during the daylight with a 1.05 ERA, which is the best earned run average of any American League pitcher.
And we're underway from the ballpark today as Jose Bautista stands in for the Blue Jays.
And Zim has a fastball that will get up to about 94 miles an hour.
High fly ball left field, not deep. Mike Avila's staring into the sunlight, and one gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health. In left field to start the game today, Avila's making his 3rd start in left. Upton in center field. J.D. Martinez in right. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, and Romine round out the infield. And James McCann is back in there after catching the first game of this series.
Here is Josh Donaldson for the Tigers in this series. They've done a really good job for the most part on the big 3 in their lineup. The top 3 in the Toronto lineup: Bautista, Donaldson, and Encarnacion.
And Zimmerman would love to keep those guys quiet one more day, because their track record indicates that they will heat up.
1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1.
All 3 guys, Donaldson, Bautista, and also Encarnacion, you want to work away from them. Two and
1 now on Josh Donaldson. For Donaldson, an average of 245 compared to 297 last year, so his average is down. The power number is still pretty good this season. We'll pound that one back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Zimmerman has an average fastball of about 91 miles an hour. He also throws quite a few sliders, about 32%. Has a curveball and also a changeup. Does not use the changeup as much as the curve and the slider as far as his off-speed pitches are concerned.
Here's the 2-2, bouncing ball right side, opposite side of the shift, and a single for Josh Donaldson.
Donaldson does not do that very often. Basically, the entire right side of the infield was open to Donaldson.
And he took advantage of it. Here is Edwin Encarnacion. He had a couple of big at-bats in the ball game yesterday, but did not come through. He struck out 3 times in his last 3 at-bats. In fact, Encarnacion stranded 6 men on base last night, allowing the Tigers to come back in the 9th and then win it in the 10th.
And Blue Jays lost a close game last night, but they had to be kicking themselves because offensively they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, and they left 11 men on base.
Zim ready with the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Encarnacion. .240 batting average, 12 home runs. Now 0 for 7 in the series. Here's the 1-1. They'll stay away again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tigers now 2 games over the 500 mark at 30-28 for the first time since May 4th. They've been 2 over, but they've got some momentum going now. They've won 5 straight and a chance to sweep back-to-back series. Little chopper slowly left side of the infield. Iglesias only play, and a nice tag there by Romine. 2 gone, runner advances to second base.
It's a dangerous play for first baseman. When there's a bad throw and you have to come off the bag and you have to come up the line, and then you expose your arm to the base runner. Very difficult play, but Romine able to come off the bag and apply the tag to Encarnacion.
Victor Martinez getting the day off today, so Romine is patrolling first base. Miguel Cabrera DHing. Here is Justin Smoke. Runner in second, 2 outs, just underway on a sunny, gorgeous afternoon in Detroit. In there, a strike on the outer edge. 0-1 on Justin Smoke.
Partner, you were speaking of Victor Martinez having the afternoon off, at least at the start of this contest. Did you know that last night was the first time in Victor's major league career that one pitcher struck him out 3 times in a game? It had never happened before.
And that's amazing considering the length of his career.
He has struck out 3 times in a game, but never the same pitcher has struck him out 3 times in a game.
Well, Sanchez last night was striking out a lot of folks.
Oh, he was the absolute truth last night. That is one of the best games I've seen this year pitched against the Tigers, and really one of the best games I've seen pitched all season.
12 strikeouts last night for Sanchez. He'll get a no decision, though. The Tigers came back late. 1-1 is fouled out of the glove of McCann. 1-2 on Justin Smoke. You know what? The Tigers pitching staff in this series has walked 13 batters. 13 walks. None of them have scored for the Blue Jays.
Oh, my goodness.
And so the Jays, you talked about having to kick themselves.
Yeah, Tigers need to go out and buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah, exactly. 1-2. Zim not a guy that walks a lot of people, though, so hopefully the base on balls will be kept to a minimum today.
He averages just over 1 free pass per contest, and it does Jordan Zimmerman.
Here's the 1-2 outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pretty good list there. The fewest walks per 9 this season. Zimmerman part of that list. Some of those guys not household names either.
Zimmerman probably was the one guy on that list that throws the hardest. Everybody else on that list was kind of guys that don't have overpowering fastballs, kind of add and subtract on their split finger fastballs and their cutters. Zimmerman the only hard thrower really on that list.
Full count, 3-2. Drilled in the air to right field, hit well. Martinez going back. He looks up and that ball is gone. Justin Smoke has hit a 2-out, 2-run shot for the Blue Jays here in the first. I was just about to mention that Smoke has made this ballpark look small in his career. That's his 8th homer lifetime here.
Looked like a breaking ball that was just spinning. It didn't do a whole lot, and it was right in the nitro zone of Justin Smoke, and he put a good swing on it.
Number 6 on the season for Smoke, an early lead for the Jays, 2-0. There's a pop-up off the bat of Kevin Pillar. Romine in foul ground has room to end the inning. 2 runs in on the Smoke home run. We'll go to the bottom of the first. This one down 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. The Tigers starting lineup presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Ian Kinsler leads it off. Mike Aviles and Miguel Cabrera DHing today. Castellanos, JD Martinez, and Justin Upton in the middle of the lineup. And J-Up's been really good lately. McCann, Romine, and Iglesias rounded out. And they will be facing the fluttering knuckleball of R.A. Dickey.
Dickey comes in overall with 3 wins and 6 losses with a .421 earned run average, but he's been pitching much better than that in his last couple of outings. Of course, anytime you go up against a knuckleballer, as a hitter, you want to make sure the ball is up in the strike zone, because if it is, it's going to land right around the belt buckle. If it starts at the belt buckle, it's going to be out of the strike zone, so make Dickey get it up.
Here is Ian Kinsler. And he swings on the first pitch and pops it up foul. Smoke has room. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Tim Hortons will sponsor the starting defensive alignment this afternoon for the Toronto Blue Jays. Carrera, Pilar, Bautista in the outfield. Goins, Barney up the middle. Smoke and Donaldson on the corner. And the personal catcher, and for R.A. Dickey, is Tolley. He is behind the plate today.
Here is Mike Aviles playing in left field here this afternoon. Dickey delivers a strike, 0-1.
Dickey will throw you a handful of fastballs during the course of the game.
Oh, 2. Now with the knuckleball at times comes some wildness, some unpredictability. Dickey had 5 walks in his last start. In fact, he's had 9 in his last 2 starts combined. 0-2 on Aviles. Missed it low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dickey likes to work very fast. Pretty much gets the ball and throws it. Now the 1-2. Line to left field, base hit. 1-out single for the Tigers.
It's a nice job here by Aviles in making sure the knuckleball is up in the strike zone. It's a floater. And another thing that you cannot do, you cannot overswing against a guy like R.A. Dickey. You have to wait as long as possible until the ball gets in the hitting zone and simply use your hand quickness to put the ball in play. You cannot have huge aggressive swings today against Dickey if you want to have success.
Ball 1 to Cabrera. 2 out of 8 in the series for Miguel, batting .305 now.
And that 1 hit last night against the Toronto Blue Jays was absolutely huge against their closer in the bottom half of the 9th inning to tie the score.
Osuna came up and in and knocked Miguel sprawling to the ground with a fastball pretty much at his chin.
I cannot remember Miguel getting dusted like he got dusted last night, ever.
And then he simply got back up and slammed a double.
That's what the great ones do.
That'll dive low. 2 balls and no strikes. So Cabrera extended his hitting streak last night. 9 in a row now for Miguel. Way high, 3-0. Castellanos on deck. A retooled Tigers lineup today with Martinez out of there. And no Cameron Maben either. That's in for a strike, and it's 3-1. Josh Tolley behind the dish, the personal catcher for R.A. Dickey. Little chopper to third, foul, 3-2.
In 2014, Miguel Cabrera connected against Dickey right here at Comerica Park, June 4th. As a matter of fact, that's the last home run that Miguel Cabrera has hit against the Toronto Blue Jays nearly 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you set it up nicely. See what Miggy gets on a 3-2 here. Runner goes, and it's driven foul down the right field line. Cabrera at home has done a lot of his damage. In fact, the highest home average in the American League. Aviles draws a throw this time, and that was close.
Dickey has a pretty good pickoff move, and you would think the teams would run at will because he's a knuckleballer. He's got those quick feet, quick snap throw, but he has a real quick slide step, and the ball does not take all that long getting into the catcher's glove.
That is something Steve Sparks used to talk a lot about when he pitched here, the former knuckleballer, about how because of the knuckleball you've got to find other ways to keep runners close, whether it's holding the baseball, slide step.
Right.
You got to get creative. Aviles goes again. It's skied in the air to shallow right field. Bautista coming on, and there are two gone. So he fell behind Miguel, but Dickey comes back to get him. Now Castellanos. Nick batting .311. Two out of 9 in this series. He's been slowed a little bit in terms of the offense on this homestand. Only 3 hits. Yet the Tigers continue to win. That'll drop low. 1 ball and no strikes. .33 RBIs this year for Castellanos. Driven high in the air and deep to left. Way back to the wall and gone. Castellanos has tied it. It's a 2-2 game. Number 11 from Nick.
It's a knuckleball. It's right in the happy zone of the uppercut swing here by Castellanos. Almost like a softball swing here by Nick. High leg kick. He waits on the ball. Once it gets into the hitting zone, a really quick bat with great hand-eye coordination, and Nick hits it out of the ballpark. R.A. Dickey, since putting on the Toronto Blue Jays uniform in 2013, has given up 96 home runs, which is the most in the major leagues. Those knuckleballs go a long way.
Well, that one sure did. So each team with a 2-run homer early in this game. 2-2 contest. A little bit outside on JD Martinez. 1 ball and 1 strike.
When you go up against a knuckleballer, you don't think about your mechanics all that much. You don't think about where your foot's landing. You don't think about where your hands are. You simply think about getting that front foot down early enough so that you can recognize the pitch.
Hammer to left field. That'll drop, base hit. So the Tigers have 3 hits in this inning off R.A. Dickey. Now Justin Upton.
Here's what I'm talking about regarding the knuckleballer. Your approach is get the foot up, and once you get that foot down, and this is when the bat speed comes.
Upton's had some bat speed lately. Justin has really started to swing the bat. 4 for 8 in the series.
It's really good to see.
That average continues to climb. He's up to 231. Here's the 1-0. Fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Upton now has hit safely in his last 5. Getting the call out in center field today. Cameron Maven still being bothered by a little soreness in his wrist. Popped him up right side of the infield. Long run for Barney, who runs it down to retire the side. However, the Tigers tie it up. Nick Castellanos hits number 11 on the season. It's a 2-2 game. Castellanos. Here are the field conditions presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. A little bit cooler today. It is 60 degrees here at the ballpark. Sunny though, so it's pleasant. And now Jordan Zimmerman back to work. Things are all equal again as Ezekiel Carrera leads it off. It'll be Carrera, Barney, and Goins in the second for the Blue Jays.
Carrera has really good speed. And so as an infielder, if the ball is hit to you, you know you have to hurry getting the ball across the diamond.
Former Tiger Carrera played here in 2014 for Detroit. Slapped out of play down the left field line. He has had a pretty good year offensively for the Blue Jays, batting .367.
His on-base percentage is way up as well. He's over 400 in that category, which is really good.
Here's the 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Carrera caught looking. First strikeout for Zimmerman.
Back-to-back fastballs inside to Carrera from Zimmerman. The last of which catches the inside corner at about 91 miles an hour. That had a little tailing action on it.
Here is Darwin Barney. He also has put up good numbers this year. He's batting .333. Elevated playing time with Tulowitzki on the disabled list, although Barney moving over to second base today. Swings and misses 0-2.
Overall, if you're going to have a really good baseball team during the course of the year, you have to get some contributions from guys that you weren't expecting to get huge contributions from during the course of spring training. And Barney would be one of those guys, and also Carrera. A couple of bench players doing nice work for John Gibbons.
Sim backed him out of there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's a good four-seam fastball there thrown by Zimmerman at 93 miles an hour. See if he comes back with another fastball inside here. Yeah, breaking ball away.
Fly ball right field, not deep. JD under it. 2 gone. Hey, stay tuned to Tigers Live. Following the game, we select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites, now being served all day. So with 2 outs, here is Ryan Goins. Has not played in the first 2 in this series. Goins, a superior defensive player. Offensively, he has really struggled this year. The 1-0 pitch on the outer edge. 1-1. In the air to left center field. Upton calling for it. And Zimmerman, a 1-2-3 second inning. Time now for the home field advantage, brought to you by Lowe's. And look at what the turnaround has been like for the Tigers in their first session. About 14 games here at home compared to the last 15. They're 12-3.
Well, it's good to see them playing better baseball right here at Comerica Park, because they weren't a good home team last year. But prior to last year, the Tigers really played well here.
James McCann will get it started now. 2-2 ball game as we play in the bottom of the second. R.A. Dickey goes back to work.
And James McCann has a swing that's tailor-made for a guy like R.A. Dickey. He's got a slight uppercut in the swing, but you have to let the ball travel.
Bottom 3 in the lineup. It'll be McCann, Romine, and Iglesias in the bottom of inning number 2.
Little mini protest there by James McCann on that last strike that was given to Dickey, and by the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione.
2-1. McCann is also getting hot. 5 RBIs in his last 4 games. 2 out of 4 in the series with a home run. Bouncing ball to the shortstop, gobbled up there by Goins. 1 away in the second.
R.A. Dickey, after winning the Cy Young Award when he was pitching for the New York Metropolitans, was traded. And before that next season, of course, the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Mets were able to get Noah Syndergaard from the Toronto Blue Jays in that deal. Noah Syndergaard.
He's pretty good. Ball 1 to Romine. Josh Tolley came over in that deal. He was Dickey's catcher there. He's Dickey's catcher here in Toronto.
Toronto also gave up a pretty good catcher too, Travis d'Arnaud, in that deal.
Here's the 1-1. Hit softly, and it's going to drop in. Base hit.
I see you, Andrew.
So 1-out single for Romine. A couple of hits in the series now for Romine.
Changeup here, and thrown by Dickey. A little fading changeup. Romine stayed back just long enough to hit it off the end of the bat.
Here is Jose Iglesias. Seven-game hitting streak. Iglesias had two of the biggest at-bats late in last night's game. The single to lead off the ninth, and then a sacrifice in the game-winning 10th.
From an offensive standpoint, in the 9th and the 10th, the Tigers were flawless.
They had just one hit. They had struck out 12 times, and then Iglesias started things off in the 9th with a base hit to right field. And the Tigers were off and running then. Kinsler followed with an RBI double. Good scoop at first by Smoke. 2-0 on Iglesias. Two and one.
The Tigers have forced Dickey into throwing quite a few fastballs already in this game today. The fact that he's been behind on a lot of guys, he's been forced into throwing that fastball anywhere from 81 to 83 miles an hour.
Runner goes and is slapped to center field, and it's going to drop. Base hit. Romine goes to third base, so the Tigers in business here in the second.
It's a pretty good swing here by Iglesias. It's almost like the one that Castellanos hit out of the ballpark. They made the knuckleballer get the ball up, and just a nice, easy swing, not trying to do too much.
Kinsler popped up in the first inning, but now the Tigers a chance to take the lead. Check swing is low and in. Here's the Chevy Silverado most dependable player. Ian Kinsler with runners on. Good numbers this year. That dives low. 2-0.
Ian has been as solid as you could possibly be from the beginning of the season until this point. Offensively, 25 multi-hit games. He scored a ton of runs. He's hit a bunch of homers, and defensively he's one of the best at that position.
50 runs scored now for Kinsler, so he's well on his way to reaching 100 again.
It's a big block right here by Josh Tolley. He's got that big glove as well. It's not your standard catcher's mitt. It looks like a catcher's mitt, but it's about as long as a first baseman's glove and not as thick, which makes it easier for the ball to land in that particular glove, a little softer than it would land into a traditional catcher's mitt.
Well, Tolley, I guess, can be underappreciated because basically he plays only when Dickey pitches for the most part, but it's plays like that many catchers would not be able to make. He saved a run there. A lot of catchers just really uncomfortable with catching a knuckleball pitcher. Here's the 3-1. It's a strike 3-2, and Kinsler didn't like it.
More than likely here, Iglesias will be running from first base. It's a 3-2 count, but even if Ian Kinsler does strike out, and Brad's hoping that Iglesias will make it safely to second. Oh, got it.
Oh, throw back, got it.
I told you that Dickey has quick feet. And that's really a Cardinals sin there. When there's a 3-2 count and there's less than 2 outs and you're running on the pitch, you're really not trying to steal the base. You're just trying to get a good enough jump to possibly stay out of a double play. But Iglesias got over aggressive there.
Now 2 outs and a runner at third. Here's the 3-2. And he walked him. So Dickey has issued a base on balls here. That'll bring up Mike Aviles. Single got it started back in the first. He scored on the home run by Castellanos. Strike one. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Tigers. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Blue Jays. That sails way high. 1 ball, 1 strike. R.A. Dickey is 41 years of age and still throwing over 200 innings every year. He's done it 5 consecutive seasons now. In the air to center field. Kevin Pillar is under it, and that'll end the threat. No runs, couple of hits, a walk, 2 men left. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. And by Dodge. Come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover event. Every day we walk to the ballpark, drive in, we see the construction of the new Little Caesars Arena, and every day something new goes up. Boy, that construction's coming along. Great looking venue. Can't wait for it to open up.
This downtown area, just a few years, it's going to be hopping.
Josh Tolley stands in for the Blue Jays here in the third.
All kinds of great restaurants, man, opening up in the downtown area too.
Businesses, restaurants, apartments, condos. Swing and a miss.
You bought some property, didn't you?
Down here?
Yeah.
No. I don't have the bank that you have. It's enticing though, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of missed the boat though. About 15 years ago. Been real nice.
I wish I would have bought me one of those places right across the street from the arena.
Oh man.
2-2 on Tolley. Full count now, 3-2 on the number 9 hitter, batting just 128. He'll be be followed by Bautista and then Donaldson.
Pretty good swing there by Tolley. He's upset with himself. He got that 3-1 fastball right down the middle and fouled it straight back.
Now again the 3-2 and another rip, and he fouls it straight back to the screen. Zim in his last start gave up 2 runs in 5 2/3. He threw 93 pitches. Of course, he was coming back from that groin injury.
Yeah, that was the first time he had worked in about 2 weeks. Strike 3.
Not so, says Chris Guccione. Time for a game break now. Johnny Kane.
The right fielder, Jose Bautista.
Well, that's not good for the Phils.
No, not good at all.
Velasquez, we saw him earlier this year at Comerica Park.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay. He's got a bright future.
Jose Bautista stands in. Flat out to left in the first inning to start the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bautista.
Bautista, and you can double him up. He's grounded into 10 double plays already this season. And Jordan Zimmerman, when he's right, he throws lots of grounders.
Here's the 1-1. Here's a strike call, 1-2 on Bautista. A few weeks ago, the Blue Jays were struggling offensively, trying to figure out what to do with their lineup. Nobody could lead off and get any production going, so Bautista approached John Gibbons and said, I'll do it. He walks a lot. He's not your prototypical leadoff hitter. But they basically moved everybody up in the lineup, and there's a base hit down the right field line. Tolley hits the bag at second, on his way to third. Bautista will go to second base. And the Jays now have second and third, nobody out.
A couple of hits already in this game. One by Bautista, the other by Donaldson. A couple of guys that are dead pull hitters, but a couple of guys that have gotten base hits the opposite direction. This one is sliced right past Romine. Romine dives for it, but the ball is by him by the time he hits the ground.
That is Bautista's first hit in the series.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier in the contest that by and large, their top 3 in the batting order, the Tigers pitching staff have been quiet, kept all of them quiet.
Well, here's where the Jays struggled yesterday. What did you say? They stranded 11?
And they were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position last night. Good pitch.
Zim, though, is going to have to go through Donaldson and Encarnacion. Donaldson had a single the other way, scored on the homer by Smoke in the first. Here's the 0-1. One ball, 1 strike on the reigning MVP.
First couple of pitches to Donaldson. Aggressive fastballs inside. And now you get a good hitter like Donaldson looking inside, and that makes him vulnerable for the outside breaking pitches if you locate it.
Way inside, 2-1. Donaldson last year received 23 of the 30 first place votes for the MVP. The other 7 went to Mike Trout, who had in many of the metrics better numbers than Donaldson, but Donaldson just brought his team to the next level and into the postseason, and certainly was a deserving MVP award winner. Their first since George Bell in 1987. Sliced out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Josh Donaldson. Leadoff walk to Tolle. He's at third. Bautista has doubled. He's at second. Jordan had a 1-2-3 second inning, but some trouble brewing here in the third. Now McCann will stroll out to the mound to have a chat. Jordan got off to that unbelievable start in the month of April. His ERA was 0.55 and he was 5-0. And it was no surprise that he was selected pitcher of the month in April in the American League.
There's only been a couple of other pitchers that have gotten off to a better start than Zimmerman did in the month of April in the history of Tigers baseball.
In the air, deep into left field, way back. Aviles to the wall. He looks up, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer for Josh Donaldson.
You were hoping that you could possibly keep Jose Bautista and Donaldson quiet for one more day, but it wasn't meant to be.
th home run of the year, second of the game for the Jays.
That's a four-seam fastball that split the heart of the plate at 93 miles an hour to a dangerous fastball hitter in Josh Donaldson, and he deposits it into left field.
And the Blue Jays have a 5-2 lead.
Those other two pitchers that had better ERAs in the month of April than Zimmerman in the history of Tigers baseball, Bernie Bolin in 1915.
Who?
Bernie Bolin in 1915 had a .30 ERA, and our good friend John Hiller had a 0.36 ERA in 1974.
Bernie Bolin was balling.
Yeah, he was.
Back in 15. 2 balls, no strikes on Encarnacion. He pops this one up a mile high to the right side of the infield. It falls into the glove of Romine, 1 out. Walk, double, and a homer, and the Jays have taken a 5-2 advantage.
Not only are walks to kiss the death late in games, they're also detrimental to your success early in games from time to time.
Well, that's the first walk that has come around to score in this series for the Jays, and they've had 14 of them now. Smoke looks at a ball inside. Here's the 1-0.
These guys aren't getting cheated this afternoon.
No, they've come out a little bit angry. They have scored 5 runs on 4 hits. Smoke had a 2-run shot in the first.
A lot of aggressive swings taken against Zimmerman this afternoon.
Good pitch. Had Smoke off balance. 1-2.
Nice little bender.
They play the shift to the right side of the infield. Two balls, 2 strikes. Hammered to right field. That is going to get down and go to the corner. Smoke on his way to second. Extra bases again. A double to go with his homer. He is 2 for 2. And the Blue Jays now have 5 hits.
I don't know what it is with Tigers pitching, but whenever Tigers pitching shows up, Justin Smoke plays his best baseball.
And it doesn't matter what uniform Smoke is wearing.
9 career home runs against the Tigers for Justin Smoke.
Kevin Pillar looks at a strike. Pillar had a homer in the ball game last night. Fouled back out of play 0-2.
Every run that the Blue Jays have scored in this series have come via the home run, as a matter of fact, buddy. As a matter of fact, if you go back 3 games in a row, every single run that the Blue Jays have scored have been a home run.
Well, I guess that's just the way they do it.
In New York, the final game there before they came here, they scored 5 runs, all on 4 home runs that day. Boston, excuse me.
Meanwhile, it's turning into a long half inning for Zimmerman, 28 pitches.
John Gibbons, their skipper. John Gibbons doing something that most managers don't really get a chance to do.
Ripped right by the third baseman, Castellanos. They'll hold the runner at third base.
And what I mean by Gibbons is he's managing the Toronto Blue Jays for the 2nd time. He was their manager prior. They got fired, then he went elsewhere, then he came back to manage them again.
Kind of has a little Billy Martin thing going on.
Exactly, I was thinking the same thing.
Well, another hard hit ball, and that's going to bring Rich Doobie out.
Yeah, he's not fooling many people today.
Hey, party suites are a great way to enjoy Tigers baseball with family and friends. All party suites include $300 in food credit and parking. Select suites include visits from former Tigers. Visit tigers.com/groups or call 313-471-BALL and enjoy Tigers baseball from a suite. There is action now in the Detroit bullpen, and Anibal Sanchez is starting to stir a little bit. First and third, still only 1 out, 3 runs in for Toronto. Carrera struck out in his first at bat. Castellanos in tight on the grass at third defensively. Zimmerman will have to keep an eye on Pilar. He has 6 stolen bases in 7 attempts. Ground ball, that is a fair ball. They'll tag the bag 1. Now they'll come home with it, slide at the plate. Got him. Nice. Oh, man.
Nice play by Iglesias.
John Gibbons says, wait, we want to look at the play perhaps. That'll help things out if this double play stands. I don't know that he got his foot in there.
Foot's not on the base.
Nope.
It's up in the air.
I don't think they'll be challenging this one, but they want to make sure. Nope, they waved it off. Double play stands. Big play for the Tigers defensively. The Jays will settle for the 3-run home run to take a 5-2 lead.
By pitch, bottom of the ninth last night, Roberto Osuna, their closer, knocks Miggy down. Then Miggy overswings at a fastball at 96. But look at the front foot here of Miguel Cabrera. He picks it up and then he puts it down really quick. And then this fastball from Osuna was 97 miles an hour. And Miguel Cabrera drove it the other way off the out-of-town scoreboard to drive in the second run of the game. And that meant Aaron Sanchez would get a no decision. But the key to that is that Miguel just makes adjustments from pitch to pitch. The previous pitch, Osuna threw it right by him because Miggy had a big swing. So he shortened up and got the job done.
You know, the other thing about that play, Rod, and you talked about this, as soon as Cabrera was knocked to the ground and that ball up at his chin, the first thing out of your mouth was, you can't intimidate Miggy.
No, you can't. He's just too good.
And then he promptly drilled a double off the wall in right center field.
Roger Clemens tried to do that to Miguel Cabrera when Miggy first got to the movies back in 2004, I believe it was. Knocked him down, and he homered against Clemens.
3-1 on Cabrera. 5-2 is our score. We play in the bottom of the third here at the ballpark.
Actually, it had to be 2003 because that was the World Series year, right?
Right. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's pulled, and what a diving play by Donaldson to his feet to throw him out.
Oh my goodness.
Donaldson stretching to his left. Made an unbelievable play and a hard hit ball.
This is one of the finest plays you'll see down the hot corner. 2 steps and a dive, and somehow he was able to keep that ball in his glove. It bounces out momentarily, but is able to pick it up, and he had plenty of time to get Miguel Cabrera because the ball was hit so sharply. What a play by Donaldson.
The top 2 MVP voters last year, Trout and Donaldson. Both outstanding offensive players, but both of them can play some defense too.
And they're gamers. You can't teach what both of those guys have.
Castellanos hit a 2-run shot off R.A. Dickey in the first. He'll drive that one foul back out of play. 0-2.
Here's a Magic Moonshot presented by Magic Windows. Knuckleball in the happy zone of Castellanos. Uppercut swing 15 rows deep in the left field stands.
The 0-2 is poked toward right field, but foul.
Nice catch there by Dad. He's a hero now in his house.
Sure is.
When your kids are young, boy, dads can do no wrong. But when they get about 15, 16, 17,
they reverse course.
It's a, who are you?
Suddenly you don't want to take your advice.
Goodness gracious.
1-2. Another big rip there by Castellanos. We're mentioning that Dickey is 41 years old, still going strong in terms of throwing a lot of innings. Tim Wakefield was 44 when he retired. And if you go farther back than that, Phil Niekro, a knuckleballer, was 48 when he retired. So they can go a ways.
A little quick pitch there by R.A. Dickey. Take a look at him here.
Yeah. He did not use that little hesitation that he normally has.
Yeah, knuckleballers, they could probably pitch until they're 44, 45, as the 2 guys you mentioned. Dickey could probably do the exact same thing. Apparently not a lot of stress when you throw that knuckleball.
Sometimes the only stress belongs to the manager and the pitching coach. You have to watch.
And the catcher trying to catch it.
Probably the catcher's at the top of that list.
For sure. 103 wins, 99 losses. And he's won a Cy Young.
The first knuckleballer to win a Cy Young award. That was with the Mets. And he was 20-6 back in 2012 to win that award. In fact, he beat out Clayton Kershaw.
Wow, Clayton could have had another one.
Yeah. Driven to right field. That'll drop, base hit. Batista cuts it off, and it's a one-out single for Castellanos.
Castellanos has had 2 really good swings today. The result of one swing, which is the knuckleball, was a home run. That's a 2-seam fastball that's down and in, but he pulls his hands close to his body, and he's able to get that barrel right over the heart of the plate and creates that bad angle to slice that ball the opposite way. Look at the head down. The head stayed down so long. Really good approach there by Nick.
J.D. Martinez takes ball 1. Each club now with 6 hits this afternoon. Martinez singled sharply in the first inning. It'll pop up foul, back out of play. The Blue Jays came into this series having won 5 consecutive series. That streak will end regardless of what happens today. The Tigers have won the first 2. Pull down the left field line, foul. Tigers building a little bit of momentum as they have won 5 consecutive games, and that's good news considering the long road trip that they have coming up.
New York, Chicago, and Kansas City. Next 3 stops starting on Friday.
Ground ball to short, should be 2, 6, 4, and 3. Double play ends the inning. 3 in the books here at Comerica.
Walk-offs in his career. He now has 6 as a Tiger. He did it for the 6th time in the Tigers uniform last night, bouncing the ball over Donaldson's head for a base hit in the game-winning RBI. But there were a lot of walk-off home runs in last night's games across the major leagues. And Joey Votto of the Cincinnati Reds against the St. Louis Cardinals walked them off. And Brian Dozier having a slow year. And by his standards, he walked off the Miami Marlins. You have another walk-off here in the San Diego-Atlanta game. And then you also have Trace Thompson, who's having a wonderful year out west for the Dodgers. Walk them off.
How many total was that?
5 total.
5? Jeez. Yeah. In one night. Fortunately, there was one here in Detroit. Darwin Barney leads it on. It'll be Barney, Goins, and Tolley, the bottom three in the fourth inning. 5-2. Blue Jays have the lead. Down the right field line, foul ground, and out of play. Barney flied to right field his first time up.
Nice Wednesday afternoon crowd here. How about this crowd, man? This place is nearly full.
Great crowd, and even though it's a bit cool here today, the temperature in the low 60s, it is a great day for baseball.
A lot of sun shining today, a lot of short sleeves. But how do you get this many people at a day game on a Wednesday?
It's the Motor City. They love their Tigers. The 1-2. Whistled foul back in the seats. Now, we will say that there are some Blue Jays fans here as well that have made the trip.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
But by and large, a big pro-Detroit crowd here tonight, and they've got, or today, and they've got them standing out beyond the railings in the outfield.
The New Amsterdam out there, 416, boy, they're packed in out there.
That is a foul ball, just foul.
That looks like it's the place to be today, partner.
You know, it might be the place to be every day.
Fans making plays today.
Wow. Nice. Barney came in batting .333. He'll take it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Barney was acquired from the Dodgers last September by the Blue Jays. That's into shallow left field. Castellanos backpedaling to make the play in the grass. 1 away. Sunday NASCAR Sprint Cup Series racing heads to Michigan as Kurt Busch looks to defend the title from last year, only on FS1, or you can watch it all live on Fox Sports Go, whichever you choose. Brian Goins will stand in. Strike 1 on Goins. It has been a challenge this year for Goins offensively. In fact, he's had 3 separate streaks of 0 for 15, 0 for 18, and 0 for 21. And because of that, his average sub 200 coming in. Little chopper back up the middle for Kinsler. 2 outs. It's been no problem for Zimmerman in the even innings. It's been the odd innings. He gave up a home run in the first and a home run in the third. Josh Tolley digs in here in the bottom of the fourth. With 2 outs. He walked his first time up, and that was 2 batters later, followed by the home run from Donaldson. One ball and 1 strike. Pretty good numbers coming into today against Zimmerman for Tolley, who is not known for his offense. And against one of the better pitchers in the game, he's put up some decent numbers. 1-2. Talking about this coming into the broadcast today. The Tigers starting pitching in the last 7, Rod, was really good before this start here today by Zim.
Yeah, look at that whip. And 3rd in the majors.
Slow roller to first base. The easy play there for Romine. Going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Zimmerman. And we'll head to the bottom of the fourth in Comerica. All-Star voting is ongoing right now. Here are the leaders in the American League. And you see that Mike Trout, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Lorenzo Cain are in the outfield right now. A couple of Royals on there with Hosmer and Perez.
I really have no problem with any of these selections as we speak at this particular moment.
All-Star game July 12th on Fox. You can catch all the action. Here is Justin Upton. Tigers fans have to get out, begin to vote in droves.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera, he will be on the team, and for sure. I don't know if he'll start over Hosmer, but he should make the All-Star team.
That is driven deep to left field, to the track, to the wall, and caught.
He hit it right off the end of the bat.
Well, we thought Upton did it again, but he's 0 for 2. Carrera went as far back as he could to haul that one in.
It's a knuckleball that he got the bat head through the zone just a little bit too quick, and you can see where the ball makes contact with the bat. That's not in the sweet part of the bat. The damage zone, they call it.
Here is James McCann. Skies this one in the air to shallow right center. And who wants it? Bautista does. 2 up, 2 down. Now Romine. I love Romine's walk-up song. Bad boys.
Bad boys, bad boys.
What you gonna do when they come for you? He might be the only guy in the league that has that as a walk-up song. Romine hammers one in the air to right field. Ball hit pretty good. Bautista going back, looking up, and Bautista up against the wall makes the catch. Well, 2 of them nearly went out, but it turns out to be a 4-pitch inning for R.A. Dickey. And we played 4 at Comerica. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Chevrolet, more than you expect for less than you imagine. Boy, a gorgeous day on Belle Isle today, to be sure. 5-2 is our score. The Jays over the Tigers in this one. And Jordan Zimmerman goes back to work as we go to the 5th inning. Top of the lineup coming up for the Blue Jays. Jose Bautista leads it off, and he checks his swing. Did not go. Bautista, Donaldson, Encarnacion. Double set up the 3-run homer by Donaldson in his last at bat. 2 balls, no strikes.
Ideally, the Toronto Blue Jays would rather have somebody else leading off instead of Bautista, but they really have not been able to find a leadoff hitter to get the job done.
It's a wicked swing there, 2-1. Yeah, they tried Pilar, and he just didn't walk a whole lot. In fact, he has only 6 walks all year. Here's the 2-1 pitch. In there to strike.
Bautista must have been looking for another off-speed pitch and took that fastball at 91 right down the heart of the plate.
Bautista's 35 years old. He's in the final year of his contract.
And he told the Blue Jays before the season started exactly what his price was. He was not going to change his price, and he would not give them a hometown discount.
Did he go? 3-2. Well, Bautista feels he can play into his 40s and perform at a high level. He is a fanatic in the offseason in terms of watching his diet. And he got him. Strike 3. And Bautista is out of there. 1 gone here in the 5th. Let's check in now with Mickey York.
Well, it arrives with considerably less fanfare than its professional counterparts, but tomorrow is the first round of the Major League Baseball draft, and the Tigers have the 9th overall pick, the first time they've had a pick in the top 10 since 2009. And today's at T-Mobile. Greater coverage of baseball takes a look back at the Tigers' top 10 picks from the last 20 years. Obviously, with guys like Verlander, Maben, Andrew Miller, there have been some big-time hits and the occasional miss. Tigers Director of Amateur Scouting Scott Pleiss joined Matt Shepard on the pregame show today. Didn't tip his hand what the Tigers are going to do, but did say overall philosophy boils down to weighing risk versus reward. They think, they're pretty sure they'll find a very rewarding player there with the 9th overall pick. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a pitcher. But Mario and Rhonda, certainly you can trust the guys upstairs have done their homework leading into tomorrow's draft.
Oh, there's no doubt, Mick. And that homework began after the draft ended last year, I think.
The Tigers' philosophy when drafting, especially when you get a high pick like they're going to get, is you simply take the best pitcher or best player that's available.
That ball's tagged pretty good to the gap in right center field. Going to get down and go to the wall. Donaldson is on the move, rounding the bag at second, coming to third, and he is having himself a day. A triple to go with his single and homer.
He's got a shot for the cycle this afternoon.
Once you get it to the gap in right center, just keep running until they tell you to stop.
Donaldson's gotten 2 hits in this direction already here today. This is a cut fastball about 87 that he reaches out, and he's still strong enough to hit the ball deep into right center. And by the time it is ran down in the outfield by Castellanos, Donaldson rounding second, headed to third.
That is 5 extra base hits now given up by the right-hander Zimmerman.
This is the hardest that Zimmerman has really been hit all year.
Now the Tigers pulling the infield in with Encarnacion up there.
I know he had the 1 start where the Tigers scored 8 runs in the first inning and he gave them all back. But other than that, he has been hit harder in this game than even in that game.
Big swing there, 1-1. I would agree. I mean, some of the balls he has given up today have been tagged pretty good. It seemed like that Twins game where he gave up the early lead. They were kind of pecking away at him. And Encarnacion just goes up there swinging. 1-2. He's behind the count, infield in. 2 homers, a couple of doubles, and a triple allowed in this game by Jordan. Here's the 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To get back out of play. It's been a pretty good year in terms of driving in runs for Encarnacion, although he has not done a whole lot of that in this series. He's knocked in 46, which is top 10 in the league.
Encarnacion is also a free agent after this season, and he'll be looking to cash in with a multi-year contract. He's a couple of years younger than Bautista. He's 33, so he might be the one that ends up getting the dollars from the Toronto Blue Jays front office.
The thing about Bautista is he might be 35, but he is in tremendous shape.
Yes, he is.
He does a lot of stretching exercises, a lot of yoga, watches his diet. And a ball 4 outside. Looked like Encarnacion might have been on the edge of going, but he held up. That'll bring up Justin Smoke. And it's also going to bring Rich Doobie out. Pitch count now at 91. Sanchez was up earlier. He is up again in the Detroit bullpen.
Here's our high-speed pitch, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. Top fastball so far thrown today by Zimmerman, a 4-seam 94 mile-per-hour fastball.
The 30-second clock has expired, and they chase Rich Doobie out of there. So here's Justin Smoke. He got himself a couple of extra base hits today, double and a homer.
And Blue Jays have got their hitting shoes on today.
Ball 1 to Smoke. Toward the end of last season, Brooke Jacoby, their hitting instructor, started working with Smoke on his balance at the plate. He had in the past been more of a guy that would put a lot of weight on the back foot as he swung through the zone, and Jacoby wanted more of a 50-50 balance in terms of his weight on each leg, and it's paid some dividends for Smoke.
Jacoby's been a very good hitting coach. He was also in Cincinnati for a few years when Dusty Baker was the manager.
Pretty good hitter in his day.
Yep. Most of his career was spent in Cleveland, wasn't it?
It was.
Good third baseman.
Here's the 2-1 pitch and a strike on the outside corner. 2-2.
He's giving him lots of off-speed stuff in this particular at bat. What he's trying to do is he's trying to get him off balance, and he's trying to get that ground ball to help him get out of this inning.
Donaldson tripled with 1 out. Encarnacion walked. Jays have hit a couple of home runs in this game. Smoke a 2-run shot. Donaldson 3-run shot. Encarnacion easily gets back into the bag. Jordan now at 95 pitches for the game. He had 93 his last start. That ball is hammered deep to right field. It is down the line, still hooking, And that ball is going to go foul. He almost hit another one out. I think it was a towering drive down the line. Didn't miss by much.
It's a lot of wind up there blowing out toward left field. That almost pushed that ball into fair territory.
Low and away, 3-2 now on Smoke. Kevin Pillar waiting on deck.
And Zimmerman only has a couple strikeouts so far today and doesn't have his great stuff. Therefore, John Gibbons might just start Encarnacion from first base. For a minute, I thought he was going to do the old fake to third and back to first.
And that would not have been good because it's not allowed.
It's been outlawed. It sure looked like he was going to do it.
Yeah, and it looked like his mind in the middle of it said, whoop, I can't do this.
It sure did.
3-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Good pitch.
2 strikeouts in the inning for Zimmerman.
The 79-mile-per-hour breaking ball, finally got Smoke out on that front foot.
One more out to get, though, as Kevin Pillar stands in. A single and a pop-up in this game. Strike 1 to Pillar. 3 hits in the series for Pillar, who back in the month of May struggled through an 0-for-22 slump. Tremendous defensive center fielder. That ball is sliced to the gap in right field. That's going to be trouble. It'll get 1, maybe 2 runs in. Martinez chasing that ball down at the wall. Pillar is on his way to third base. And another triple in the inning for the Blue Jays. They scored 2 more.
Jordan Zimmerman just does not have it today, and that's the final pitch he will throw this afternoon.
A 2-run triple by Kevin Pillar, and it's 7-2 Blue Jays. That'll signal the end for the Tigers right-hander. Well side windows pitching change here in the 5th. We'll be back. Been knocked out of this ball game. The 2-run triple by Kevin Pillar has chased him. And here are his numbers this afternoon.
He didn't have a whole lot of life on really anything that he was throwing up there today. The fastball was flat. The breaking balls, for the most part, the cutter, were going east to west, not much depth. And the Blue Jays are hot today.
7 runs allowed. The man at third still his responsibility. Anibal Sanchez out of the bullpen.
And it's really not all that surprising that the Blue Jays offense has awakened here today. They've got a good offensive team. They've been underperforming in that category so far this season offensively.
Ezekiel Carrera will step in now, and he lofts one in the air to left center field. It's going to be Upton to run it down, so Sanchez throws one pitch and gets an out. 2 runs in, though. And the Jays extend their lead. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire.
Last night, it's a sacrifice bunt here by Iglesias, but I want to show you the entire play and what's happening on this particular play. Take a look here at the shortstop, and you also have the second baseman. He's going to go that way. He's going to go this way. This is called the wheel play. And as a base runner, what you have to do if you're Upton, you have to see out of the corner of your eye where that shortstop is. You have to understand he's going to try to beat you to the bag, so you have to get a really good jump to make it safely to third base. It's our call of the game.
A lot of moving parts to that, isn't there?
Well, you never really see it at this level, Mario, the wheel play, because it very seldom works against big leaguers. But I could see Iglesias last night, and I watched this at home last night over again. Iglesias was looking at the second baseman. He was looking at the shortstop. Because he plays the shortstop position, he recognized what play was on. And that's why he bunted the ball in the direction down toward first base instead of bunting it toward third base. But it was the jump that Upton got that made the play.
Swing and a miss. Iglesias will strike out. One gone.
You know, something else that you're taught to do as a hitter there, when you recognize that that's the wheel play, you've got all those infielders moving all over the place, you simply pull it back and swing the bat, because more than likely, if you put it in play, there's a lot of ground out there because everybody is on the corners of the infield.
So as a hitter, you have enough time to recognize that with your peripheral vision.
Yes, you can see that shortstop going toward third base, and that's when you pull it back and you swing the bat. Anybody but Upton running last night, and a couple of other guys on the Tigers team.
So now
that's an out at third base.
Here is Kinsler. 7-2 now. The Jays have the lead. They added 2 more in the top of the 5th. Ian rips one foul. Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup. Kinsler against R.A. Dickey. 400 career, 3 home runs. The 1-1. What is it about Kinsler's swing that makes him so good against the knuckleball?
Well, he's got that built-in uppercut. And a lot of times those knuckleballers The ball is simply dropping right down in the swing path of Ian Kinsler, and he gets underneath it, and he's always had good enough power to hit the ball in the ballpark. That's why he's had success against R.A. Dickey.
Three-two on Ian. Mike Aviles waiting on deck. Dickey had a 4-pitch fourth inning. A little looper hit to the third baseman. The Donaldson comes in to make the play on. 2 gone.
And back-to-back fastballs at 82 miles an hour, the last of which shattered the bat of Kinsler.
Here is Mike Aviles. Singled and scored in the first. The Tigers got their only runs in the first inning on a single by Mike, and then 2 batters later, Castellanos a home run. Quick pitch that time, and he missed outside. 1-1.
And Johnny Cueto is rubbing off on a lot of starting pitchers these days. I've seen quite a few guys go to that little hesitation and quick pitching, and the way that Johnny Cueto does.
1-2. Ground ball back up the middle and into center field. Base hit. A little seeing eye single into center for Mike Aviles. It'll keep the 5th inning going. Okay, the Tigers host the Indians Saturday, June 25th at 4:10. Placido Polanco will participate in a pregame Q&A session. It's part of the season-long celebration of the 10th anniversary of the 2006 AL Champs. Visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER for ticket information. Paulie coming back to town. And Joel Zumaya here last night. Here's a pop-up. This will get back out of play off the bat of Cabrera. Simo was part of that earlier this year.
Yes.
Do we have any other ones yet?
Was Ty Jones here? He's coming.
He's coming. He'll be later.
Coming. Pudge was here.
Pudge, that's the other one. That's right. The 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Joe Zumaya was here yesterday.
One ball, 1 strike. Sliced out of play. 1-2 on Miguel.
You were speaking of Placido Polanco. The Tigers probably wish they would have brought him back after he was a free agent that one season, because he had a really good year and he was a free agent. But the Tigers felt like Scott Sizemore was their second baseman in waiting, and they felt like he could fill Polanco's shoes, but they really didn't find a second baseman to fill the shoes for Polanco until they reacquired Omar Infante.
How much do you think it was Sizemore and Polanco they felt might be trekking downward?
I thought it was some of both. I really do.
3-2 now on Cabrera. So the Tigers will start the runner here.
And they tried Will Rhymes at second base.
That's flared to center field. Shallow, dropping base hit. There goes Aviles to third, and the Tigers have something going now with 2 outs.
R.A. Dickey, he understands that Miggy's going to be a very difficult out every time he goes up against him. He starts him off with a first pitch fastball, then he simply goes to an assortment of different knuckleballs. Miggy able to lay off most of them, gets the count to 3-2 finally, and fights off one upstairs for a bloop single and a big smile.
Yay for me. It's a 10-game hitting streak now for Cabrera. One swing would get the Tigers right back into it. Castellanos already is homered against Dickey. Way outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Menards brings you the big money encounter. Team batting average with runners in scoring position this month. Only Seattle has been better. Now it's 3-0, and Dickey's starting to dig himself a hole here. If he walks Castellanos, JD waiting on deck. Three and one. Nick kind of walking out of the box as if to say, I don't agree with that call. R.A. Dickey is up to 88 pitches. Another strike. And again, Castellanos has a stare for Chris Guccione.
Might have been touched low. That's a good fastball to hit on 3-1 count.
Ground ball to third. Donaldson has it there. And the threat is over. Tigers get a couple of hits. Strand 2. We go to the 6th. The lead here in the final game in this series as we go to the top of the 6th inning, and they want to flash back this date in Major League Baseball history. Steven Strasburg made his Major League debut, and boy, was it a good one.
14 strikeouts that day that he made his debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He finished that season 5-3 with a respectable earned run average and 92 strikeouts.
Strasburg this year is 9-0 for the Nationals. And he's gone on to become one of the better pitchers in the major leagues.
He would have been the top free agent pitcher to hit the market this offseason. But he's already signed a lengthy deal with the Washington Nationals to stay there for the next 7 years.
In fact, he signed that deal when we were there in Washington and played them.
Matter of fact, he was pitching.
He was actually.
He was on the mound when it was announced.
He was on the mound. They brought a pen out to him and on the mound, and he just signed the contract.
I would have paused for a moment too. If I was Strasburg.
I'd have held up the game for that deal.
Wait a minute, I'm not going to throw one more pitch. Let me ink this deal.
Darwin Barney leading it off. Bottom 3, Barney, Goins, and Tolley for the Blue Jays. Aníbal Sanchez back out there in the 6th. Little bouncer to the shortstop. Right there is Iglesias. One away. Game break time now. Here's Johnny Kane.
The shortstop, Ryan Gomes.
Imagine that. Cubs winning again. There's a swing and a miss by Ryan Goins. Although the Cubs are losing some players, they lost Schwarber earlier this year. Now Soler is hurt. There's a ball down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Dexter Fowler got hit on the hand just a couple of days ago as well. He's having a really good year.
Good teams find a way to fight through those injuries. Of course, depth certainly helps.
Yeah, they've got a lot of it.
1-2 on Ryan Goins. In the air, shallow center field. Upton calling. So Sanchez has come on and retired all 3 batters that he has faced. Got the final out of the 5th. Here's Josh Thole. It's going to be interesting to see how this starts to shake out as far as the Tigers rotation is concerned, because obviously Sanchez wants to get back into the starting 5.
I think it will work itself out. I think there's some locks in that rotation for sure. That would be Zimmerman, that would be Verlander, and that would be the young kid Michael Fulmer. But I think everybody else, and Pelfrey included, with Matt Boyd, they have to continue to pitch well. And because they're always going to be looking over their shoulders, there's always going to be conversations regarding Norris, who's in AAA pitching well right now. Sanchez, if he gets back into the rotation. All things being equal, I know Brad would probably love to have Sanchez pitch well enough to get back into the starting rotation.
Yeah, I think you're right. And a lot of that probably has to do with his past record and the fact that he's a veteran.
And they're hoping that he can get his velocity up, gain some arm strength while pitching in the bullpen.
That almost hit him. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Thole.
And the ball could go a couple different ways here. He can go upstairs with the elevated fastball. He's got that kind of command. And then he can throw it right by Thole, or he can simply fade that changeup away. They're going changeup.
Bautista waiting on deck. Now Sanchez again with the 1-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out. Anibal looking good today. A 1-2-3-6 inning. Well, they say the Chicks take the long ball. We've had 3 of them in this game. A couple of them by the Blue Jays. Castellanos gone deep for the Tigers. American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and in ships at sea. We welcome you all. Right now the Jays on top in this game as J.D. Martinez leads off the bottom of the 6th. 7-2 in favor of Toronto. J.D. a double play ball his last time up. He's also singled. Here's the 1-0. Pulled on the ground and through, out of the reach of Ryan Goins. Well, JD's got his second hit of the game, leadoff man aboard.
Second time today, JD's scalded the baseball for a solid single.
Bring up Justin Upton. Pop up and a fly ball. Although the fly ball that Upton hit sent Carrera right to the wall and left.
Yeah, he just missed it. And right off the end of the bat, it would have been his 5th home run of the season.
Knuckleball floats outside, 1-0. Smothered by Tolley. Tolley has caught, dating back to his Mets days, 70%, nearly 70% of R.A. Dickey's starts in his career. Of course, R.A. didn't start out as a knuckleball pitcher. That'll bounce in and go all the way to the backstop and move the runner up, and now it's 3-0 on Upton.
I believe one of his very first starts as a knuckleballer, R.A. Dickey, I believe it was back in, what, 2006?
Against the Tigers.
Against the Tigers in Texas. The Tigers had 5 home runs against him that day. Simo went deep. Marcus went deep. Inge went deep. Red Pop went deep that day.
Red Pop.
Yeah, he did. Red Pop. Orange Crush. Chris Shelton. Shelton might have hit 2 that day.
I think he did hit 2. I'd have to look it up. Somebody hit 2. I don't know if it was Shelton or Inge or Simo. I don't know. 3-1. Ground ball slowly towards short. Goins will throw him out. Runner advances to third, 1 away. Red Pop was some kind of phenomenon, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, man. We had him going to the Hall of Fame, man. That first month of the year, he was rolling.
John Gibbons says that'll be it for R.A. Dickey. 97 pitches into this game. He's going to go to his bullpen. And it'll be a wall side windows pitching change. Chavez coming out of the bullpen to take over now for the Blue Jays. We'll be back. As the Tigers take on the Yankees at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Then the Indians battle the Angels in a game you can see only on FS1 at 9:30 Eastern, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Jesse Chavez, the former Oakland Athletic, is the new Toronto pitcher.
Jesse Chavez has a fastball that gets up to 94 miles an hour. He'll also cut the fastball quite a bit. He has a curveball that he will use and a changeup, but not very often as far as the changeup is concerned. 20 games this year with the Blue Jays, not bad for Chavez.
Tigers have a man at third with one out as James McCann stands in. Little pop-up foul back out of play. Chavez part of the A's rotation the last couple of years. Had some moderate success there.
Tigers have seen him a few times. And before he went to Oakland, he was property of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Another foul back out of play, 0-2. November the 20th is when Chavez was traded from the A's to the Jays. Martinez at third base. Josh Tolley, by the way, had to go in and get his other glove with the knuckleballer out. He's got a more conventional pitcher now, and so a more conventional catcher's glove or mitt. Here's the 0-2. Missed it high. 1-2 on McCann. And he got him, strike three. James took it looking.
Good cut fastball there at 91, thrown by Chavez. He throws the cut fastball about 40% of the time. McCann might have had a beef there.
Sure did. Romine is single on a flyout. Ball one. Andrew starting at first base today with Cabrera DHing. He has played 7 different positions in the major leagues. Ball two.
He said that his goal at some point in time before he retires is to play all 9 positions in a game.
Only a handful of major leaguers have done it. 2 balls, 1 strike. You got to be in a position where you're either obviously you've clinched the division or you have no chance to win the division.
Shane Halter probably the last Tiger to do that, probably, right?
He was. Now the one position that everybody talks about with those guys is the catching position, and Andrew got a taste of that in spring training. On the backfields.
He's not all that fond of putting on that catcher's gear, but whatever it takes to stay in the big leagues.
I remember asking Andrew after he caught a few games in the backfield spring training. He says, my legs are on fire. They're just on fire. All the up and down. But it gave him an appreciation of what it takes to catch at this level. And it's not just the physical part, but it's the cerebral part of calling a game, knowing who's up, remembering the scouting report, knowing what your pitcher has, and you know what he's working on and what's working best for him that day.
That's why there are so many managers that were former catchers, and so many owners and general managers feel like because of what you just mentioned, they're the ones that are most equipped to run a baseball team. Think about the last few series the Tigers have played. The Yankees were here. Of course, there's a catcher there, Joe Girardi. Bob Melvin in Oakland, catcher. Socha in LA, catcher. John Gibbons, Toronto, former catcher.
Checked it, went around, strike 3, and Chavez comes out of the pen, strikes out a couple. No runs and a hit. Tigers strand a man at third, 6 in the books here at Comerica. The Jays on top of the Tigers, and Josh Donaldson having a big game, just a double shy of the cycle. Castellanos has homered for the Tigers, and Rod Jordan Zimmerman today just didn't quite have it. 7 earned runs.
No, he didn't. And every mistake that he made over the heart of the plate, the Blue Jays were there waiting for him, and they have quite a few extra base hits today.
Here is Bautista. He'll be followed by Donaldson and Encarnacion.
I like the fact that Anibal Sanchez continuing to use all of his pitches, even though pitching in relief these days. If you've got 4 quality big league pitches, you might as well use all of them. Back-to-back breaking balls there thrown to Bautista, the second of which lands in the strike zone.
Sanchez pitched in the first game of the series. He threw a 1-2-3-8, and he's retired all 4 that he's faced here this afternoon. Here's the 2-1. Pulled fair down the third base line, and that is picked up by a fan, so that's going to be a ground rule double. Two doubles down for Bautista.
Let's take a look at the big boys, big play of the game. Josh Donaldson has simply been on point here today, and he's done something that he normally does not do. His first time up, he singled down the right field line. His next time up, he went to the bridge, home run, and then his last time up, he went right center field. So Donaldson is a dead pull hitter, but somehow today, he's found a way to get 2 hits in the opposite direction. This is how rare it is for Donaldson to go the opposite way. Look at his percentages to right field and right center field. Very seldom does he go in that direction, but he really likes to go to left field quite a bit. And that's where all his power is.
Little bouncer towards second base, fielded by Kinsler, and Donaldson advances the runner with 1 out. And now Encarnacion will try and score the run. The infield coming in for the Tigers.
5 hits today, and by the top 2 Blue Jays hitters in the lineup. And Bautista with a couple of doubles, and Donaldson with a single, a double, and a homer. And they've kept him quiet in the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, you said it was going to be tough to hold him down for 3, and that's turned out to be the case. Bender there for strike 1 on Encarnacion.
Anibal has the really good breaking ball. He's got a slider. He's got a curveball. He's got that butterfly changeup. He also cuts the fastball. He's got that 4-seamer.
Bouncing ball to short. Infield in will keep the run from scoring. 2 gone. Encarnacion got about a halfway down the line, took a right turn. 2 outs now for Justin Smoke. Four of the 7 runs have come with 2 outs for the Jays today. There's a broken bat roller to the right side. Iglesias will scoot over. And that is that. So nothing comes of the leadoff double. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Coming up, the Consumers Energy 7th inning stretch. By Gordon Chevrolet, the Tigers have an off day tomorrow, and then it's on to the Bronx.
We've already seen CC Sabathia one time this year. He's made some adjustments. I mean, he's not overpowering anymore, but he's really learned how to pitch with less velocity. Good changeups, good breaking balls, pitching backwards, having some success this season.
Mike Pelfrey will oppose him, starting a 3-game weekend series in New York.
Big Mike.
Here is Iglesias facing Jesse Chavez in the bottom of the 7th. 7-2. Jays have the lead today. And Chavez starts him off, strike 1. Single and a strikeout of the ball game for Iglesias, who did not go.
Ooh, really? About as far as you can go without Alfonso Marquez, who is the first base umpire today, before you call it. Well, that's not a strike.
I'm sure Marquez saw it.
He didn't see it.
I think he was looking the other way, to be honest with you.
Well, Miguel Cabrera must be rubbing off on Iglesias. He asked for the check himself before Chris Guccione, the umpire, was able to ask the first base umpire.
You know who else I saw do that on the road trip?
Who was that?
Mike Trout did that.
Yes, he did.
So it is rubbing on. 2-2 the count.
I guess if you're a hitter, you much prefer the first base umpire call it instead of the catcher.
Makes sense.
Excuse me, the umpire.
Just off the plate, 3-2 now on Iglesias. Tigers need base runners here.
Chavez reached back to get 94 with that last fastball. Nearly got strike 3.
And he lost him, ball 4. Leadoff man aboard here in the 7th. More action in the Tigers bullpen. Mark Lowe warming up. Tigers trying to get him back on track. Kinsler, the batter, a pop-up and a line-out. He also has a walk in this game. Tigers have 9 hits, but only 2 runs today. Ian fouls it back 0-1. If you were to pick your Tigers MVP to this point, and I'll let you think about this a little bit, who would you go with? I know Martinez has had a really spectacular first half, but for me, Kinsler has just been in the middle of just about everything this year on both sides of the ball. There's a ground ball foul. I might go with Ian.
I don't know if I would disagree with you. Obviously, Miguel Cabrera is Miggy, and he's just a superior player, superior talent. You brought up Victor, who's having a wonderful year so far. Castellanos has been money day in and day out. But Ian probably has been the most consistent. Victor just chilling today.
Day off.
Getting a little sun. And Brad knows how to pick the days off because there's another day off tomorrow, so Victor won't play again until Friday night in the Bronx. And the veteran players, you have to watch them closely. You've got to give Ian a day off from time to time. You've got to give Miggy a day off. Victor getting his today. It's so hard to get him out of the lineup, though, because the guys want to play every day.
Especially when the guy you're sitting down is hitting 341. Swing and a miss. Kinsler down on strikes. 1 gone here in the 7th. Hey, Friday, June 24th, the Tigers take on the Indians at 7:10 p.m. The first 10,000 fans receive a free Detroit Tigers floppy hat. For tickets, visit Tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER. This is Rod Allen's favorite giveaway.
It is my favorite giveaway. I hope they bring in 5 this year.
And this time, we're going to make you wear it during the game. And take some pictures to prove it.
Hey, easy now.
0-1 the count out of Vilas.
It's a decent day. Couple singles for Mike today.
This might be a double play ball. 6-4-3 with a scoop at first base by Smoke.
Justin Smoke can really pick it at first base.
Nothing doing for the Tigers. You're watching Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. The 8th here at the ballpark today. Mario and Rod here at Comerica Park. Happy you are with us, and although it's been a tough game today, Rod, The one thing you mentioned is it's going to be tough to hold down their top 3 hitters, and well, today they've put on a show.
Yeah, first couple of days they were able to slow down Donaldson, they were able to slow down Bautista and Encarnacion, but today Bautista and Donaldson have gotten loose. Lots of extra base hits. They've driven in the majority of the runs today, but you knew they would heat up sooner or later.
All right, now what did you see out of Jordan Zimmerman today? Because obviously he's still trying to come back from that groin injury. Don't know if he's 100%. I think he is, but today just wasn't his day.
You know, we have not heard anything other than the fact that he's not 100%, but his stuff was flat today. Most of the pitches in the strike zone had no life to him, and there was east to west movement, not a lot of depth on the breaking balls, and because of that, these Blue Jays, they scored quite a few runs against him. This is the hardest we've seen Jordan Zimmerman hit since he's put on a Tigers uniform.
Mark Lowe is the new Tigers pitcher as we go to the 8th inning.
You have to try to find some positive when a game like this where you're trailing by 5 runs into the 8th inning. And one was Anibal Sanchez for sure. And Lowe could be another positive here if he can go out and pitch a clean inning, maybe even 2 innings, because he's the one guy in that bullpen that they really have to get straightened out. He is the 8th inning guy.
Kevin Pillar leading off the 8th. He had a huge 2-run triple in his last at bat. It came with 2 outs. 2 balls, no strikes on Pillar. Lowe replacing Sanchez.
Lowe has a fastball that gets up to about 94, 95 when he's good. And he also has a really good slider. But the slider really hasn't been working for him lately. He's given up quite a few crooked numbers.
Each club with 9 hits in this game. Now the 3-0. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Pillar.
Let's take a look at the cricket, something to smile about. And Anibal Sanchez definitely provided the Tigers with some smiles today with what he did while he was out there. Lots of soft contact today from Anibal Sanchez. Fastball got up to about 93. He threw some really good breaking balls at different speeds and a couple of really good fading changeups. But by and large, he kept the ball out of the middle of the plate, which was very important for Anibal.
Ezekiel Carrera with a man on. Carrera has hit into a double play, a strikeout and a fly out, 0 for 3. That's fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes on the former Tiger. Drew Storen warming up now in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Carrera has also played with Cleveland and Philadelphia among his major league stops, along with Detroit. Up and in. 1-2. Sanchez goes 2 1/3 in relief, scoreless baseball. He allowed a double, but no damage. Now the 1-2. Back on the 4th against the White Sox in his last outing in 2/3. Lowe gave up 3 hits, couple of runs against Chicago. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball right to the first baseman, but foul. Darwin Barney waiting on deck. Carrera hits one in the air to center, not deep. Upton coming on to make the play. One away. Hey, follow the Tigers baseball live with the MLB.com at Bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment of the game day. Live game video highlights, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. Darwin Barney 0 for 3 today. And Pilar draws the throw. Pilar at first base with 6 steals in 7 attempts. One on Barney, former Gold Glover with the Chicago Cubs. 5 years for the Cubs, a couple of years with the Dodgers. When he was acquired last year, they got him from LA in September.
He's played 14 days in a row. And Troy Tulowitzki is on the disabled list, so Barney getting several reps at shortstop today, playing at second base.
Runner goes from his knees. McCann's throw. Got him at second base. He threw him out from his knees if it stands.
Pilar not leaving like he believes he was safe.
Hard to tell when the tag was applied there, but we'll see if the Jays want to challenge. This should tell us.
Ian had the base blocked with his left foot, so Pilar had to reach around Ian Kinsler's left foot, and I'm not sure whether he got there or not. Might be tough to overturn it.
They're going to call him out.
How about the throw by McCann? That's the first time I can ever remember McCann throwing from his knees, but Pilar had such a great jump. That was the only thing that McCann could do, and he still had enough arm strength to throw him out.
That's why it's called
the McCann.
Absolutely. 0-2 on Barney. Just outside.
Here's one more look at it. Such a great jump. He just goes down to the left knee, and then the other knee hits the ground, and it's still enough arm strength while falling forward to get enough on the throw, and the tag applied by Kinsler. Man, could he throw.
Two and two on Barney.
Lowe has thrown more balls than strikes. And since entering the contest, 14 total pitches. 6 strikes, 8 balls.
Leadoff walk has been erased on the throw out by McCann. That'll get back out of play.
Best fastball that Lowe has thrown in this inning. He reached back to get 94.
McCann has now thrown out 11 and 21.
It's pretty good. It's better than 50%.
Sure is. I'm pretty good at math. Pretty quick.
Yeah, when you keep it low, I can get those.
Bounce to the shortstop, and that'll be it. So no damage done from the leadoff base on balls. When we go to the bottom of the 8th, Miguel Cabrera will lead it off for the Tigers. brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives to Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Gorgeous afternoon here in the Motor City. A bright, sunshiny day. 7-2 though. The Blue Jays on top. Tigers. Time to get the bats going here. They've got Cabrera, Castellanos, and J.D. Martinez facing the new right-hander Drew Storen.
And Storen having a slow year so far. 0-2 in the 23 games that he's been in, but the ERA is nearly 7. 19 strikeouts and 5 base on balls for the former closer.
Cabrera looks at a strike to begin things here in the bottom of the 8th.
Storen's got a fastball that averages out at about 92 miles an hour. He also features a slider and a changeup.
One ball, one strike. Storen was the Nationals' first-round pick in the 09 draft. Way outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Saved 29 games last year for the Nationals. Nats then acquired Jonathan Papelbon.
Yeah, Storen wasn't happy about that. He was doing a very good job as their closer when they acquired Papelbon.
Fly ball toward left field, and that ball is going to be caught. And Carrera runs it down.
Looked like that ball had a chance to get into the left center field gap. Yeah, but Carrera in left field has really good speed. Able to run it down. Got a good jump on it, too.
One out for Castellanos. Couple of hits today for Nick, a single and a 2-run homer. That home run was hit in the first inning. The Tigers fell behind by 2, and then Nick quickly tied it up, but they've done nothing since. One ball, one strike. Blaine Hardy in the Detroit bullpen. Storen had as many as 43 saves with the Nationals back in 2011. That's a 23-year-old out of their bullpen. Two and one. Midwestern kid, Indianapolis, Indiana.
I used to always enjoy going to Naptown when I was playing AAA baseball. They always had good teams, good crowds, good AAA city.
Naptown might be the most underrated city around. It is a really good town.
Great downtown area.
Two and two on Castellanos. J.D. Martinez waiting on deck. Thought about it, but it missed high. Here's the 3-2. Down the right field line, sailing back toward the seats, and Smoke runs out of room. 3-2, the count stays. Speaking of Indianapolis, did you ever go to St. Elmo's Steakhouse there?
I do not remember going there.
They have shrimp cocktail the size of your head. They're like the best ever.
Wow. That's all you need to eat. Shrimp cocktail.
That's it, man. It's your meal if you want it. Steaks are good though too. A lot of great restaurants in Indy. Storen trying to put away Castellanos here. 7-2. We're in the 8th. And Nick takes the ball high. That is ball 4. 1 on, 1 out. Now J.D. Martinez. Pretty good day for J.D. Couple of singles. 2 out of 3. 4 hits in the series for Martinez. And that one almost hit him. It did hit him. So Storen now has walked a man. He's hit a man. He's given the Tigers exactly what they need here. Base runners. Get him by much. Got the shirt. Gonna bring Pete Walker, their pitching coach, out. Walker's using most of his 30 seconds to get to the mound. This better be a quick message. Gavin Floyd now warming up in their bullpen. Osuna, their closer, pitched in last night's ball game. Here is Justin Upton. Ground ball, fly ball, pop up. And strike 1 to Upton.
Good to see Justin's bat perk up on this homestand. Last 3 days he's been hitting the ball extremely hard. Starting to feel a lot more comfortable in that batter's box.
Now the 0-1. Storen stayed away. He has thrown more balls than strikes since coming on.
He's got that big sweeping slider. And that's going out of the strike zone by a foot.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Upton. Crowd today of 36,036, just looking for something to cheer about. Crowd didn't cheer last night until the 9th inning when it counted. Tigers had only 1 hit up until that point last night. He stayed away again, but Upton wouldn't bite. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. Fouled away. '24th appearance for Storen this year, and his numbers elevated. His ERA coming in nearly 7.
His tempo is poor. I mean, he has taken a long time in between pitches. He's all around the strike zone. So when your defense starts to relax a little bit, they get back on their heels, and guys don't make the best plays for you when you're working as slow as Storen is working here today. Like R.A. Dickey, he was grabbing that ball back from the catcher. He was right back up on that mound. He was ready to go.
Well, Storen now has gone 3-2. McCann on deck. High fly ball right field. Bautista is under it, and the runners will hold. There are 2 outs. That'll bring up McCann.
Justin not happy and with himself on that last swing.
Storen about to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. Still more balls than strikes. McCann is 0 for 3. Strike 1 on McCann.
On Monday, James McCann connected for his 3rd home run of the season against J. Happ. Over the Blue Jay bullpen.
Another 3-run shot would look nice here. Get the Tigers back in their game, or this game. They're down 7-2. But now he's behind in the count 0-2. Each ball club with 9 hits. The Blue Jays have made better use of theirs. They have hit 2 home runs in the game. Donaldson 3-run shot, Smoke 2-run shot, and Pilar a 2-run triple. Bouncing ball to short. Should get him out of the inning. They'll get the force at second to retire the side. No runs, a walk, a hit batter, 2 left. It's on to New York. We're going to the Bronx next. An off day tomorrow. The Tigers will travel tomorrow, then take on the Yankees. Here are some of the particulars on the Yanks.
Austin Romine, the brother of Andrews, playing pretty good baseball in his last 9 games, batting average at .345.
We'll see Romine and the rest of the Yankees in a 3-game weekend series. Then on to Chicago. Blaine Hardy is the new Tigers pitcher as we go to the 9th.
Hey, Blaine Hardy does not have a record. ERA not bad at all, just a shade over 2.
Ryan Goins leads it off and takes strike 1. Goins, then Tolley, and then Bautista. No balls, 2 strikes. Hardy now with the 0-2 pitch. Little chopper right back to the mound. And Goins is out of there. We check in now with Mickey York with a preview of today's Tigers Live.
Oh, Mario, it's been a good couple of days here at the ballpark. Today, not so much. Jordan Zimmerman had a tough afternoon. We'll find out what was up with him. We'll talk with Nick Castellanos. He provided the Tigers offense this afternoon. Brad Ausmus's post-game comments as well. Coming up after the game with Johnny K and Craig Monroe in the Call Sam studio, guys.
Mick, you got to get out more.
It's great to be out. Great day, too.
It is, man. Thanks. We look forward to Tigers Live. That ball slapped in the air to center field where Upton is waiting. And 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Bautista.
The right fielder, Jose Bautista.
Hardy outstanding out of the Tigers bullpen last year for the most part in a variety of different roles. There were times where he was the main left-hander down there for Brad Ausmus.
Gavin Floyd, Aaron Loop. There's the strikeout, Bautista. Yeah, last year you think about all the big outs that Hardy got and Alex Wilson got. They were leaned on heavily for the Tigers. Remade their bullpen in the offseason.
Outstanding off-speed pitch there. And it was the arm speed that really sold this pitch. And Bautista saw that fast arm coming down, and he could not recognize that was a breaking ball at 75 miles an hour.
Down he goes. That was a snappy inning for Blaine Hardy. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th.
Fast delivery of the game. Every mistake that Zimmerman made over the heart of the plate today, the Blue Jays are sitting there waiting for him. It was smoke that got him on the board real early with a big fly. Donaldson also chipped in with 3 knocks today. He had a triple, he had a single, and he also homered. Just a really good day for Blue Jays bats, but they swung the bats more like the Blue Jays today of last year than they had really been doing all year long. 7 of their 9 hits went for extra bases today.
Meanwhile, Aaron Loop comes out of the bullpen and pitched the final inning here for the Jays. They try and nail this one shut.
Only the 4th outing of the season for Aaron Loop.
Romine leads it off. Left elbow soreness landed Loop on the 15-day disabled list. It was just recently reactivated. And Romine sends a high chop back to the mound on one pitch. Loop retires Romine. One gone. Tigers today are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. The Blue Jays much better than they have been earlier in the series. They were 4 for 10. Took advantage of their opportunities early. They built a 7-2 lead. Now Iglesias. Iggy on base 2 more times today. Single and a walk. He's hit safely in 8 straight. One ball, one strike. In the air down the left field line. That ball is hit well. It is hooking. And it's going to be a foul ball. Long strike on Iglesias. 1-2. Blue Jays today have gone with their starter Dickey, then Chavez, then Storin, and now Loop. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Way outside. 3-2 now on Iglesias. Again pulled down the left field line, and again it's going to go foul.
Iggy, yeah, displaying a little pull power today.
Iglesias' bat is perked up in the month of June. 391 this month.
Yeah, his batting average was at about 200 when the month began. He's been able to get it up to nearly 240.
Bouncing ball to short on the backhand. Goins. 2 gone. Looks like we'll get a pitching change now.
Really?
2 outs in the 9th inning of a 7-2 game. John Gibbons making the walk out to the mound. That's going to be it for Loop. So a pitching change here at Comerica Park. We'll be back. Bottom of the ninth, 2 out, nobody on, and Gavin Floyd will come on and get the final out.
And we've already seen Gavin Floyd once in this series. He's got a fastball that gets up to 94, 95. He still has that real good curveball, 12-6 breaking ball that Gavin Floyd has always featured.
Loop retired 2 batters. He's out of the game, and now Floyd facing Kinsler, who is 0 for 3.
Aaron Loop is simply a specialist for the most part against left-handers most days for John Gibbons.
Strike 1 on Ian. Kinsler does have a walk in this game. Waiting on the 1-1.
Ooh, good heater there. 93 right by Ian.
Now the Jays fans clapping, want the final strike here on Kinsler. Ball high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Tigers will not sweep. However, they close out a very good homestand.
Won 5 and lost 2 on the homestand, which is outstanding. Now it's off to the Bronx.
Blue Jays win today, 7-2 the final score. We'll be back.